Hey, very quick. Here we go. File, new. Getting her in the right place. Stick here. Layers. Making sure that you're on the right one. Getting rid of the box. E for erase. Perhaps drafting a box bigger than you want to draft, or perhaps not. Drawing an arbitrary circle. That circle should be on the object layer, so you take it. You can either flip it here or right click, or later on you'll see lots of different ways. That is drawing a circle. Polygon. Classic math. 5. Center of polygon, shift right click. The center of that. Inscribed or circumscribed, grabbing the quadrant of that. Now you have something that should remind you of the golden rectangle, or in fact the golden ratio of 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2, end point of there to the end point of there. You see I have ortho on. Now, remembering that we learn to scale something down to something else, we learn to X or explode and grab this. Here's the drill the first time. I'm going to eventually scale that and then rotate it from the endpoint there, turning the F8 on, ortho off. I'm going to first scale it down. Or should I do it differently? Well, let's first do the rotate. Remember, should I do it differently? Should I do it differently? Let's do them all in the right order this time. I'm going to translate, rotate, and then scale. So here's how you do it. Grab, left click, spacebar, move. You don't have to do anything except for move it. Endpoint. That's the first. Then rotate. So grab across, left click, spacebar, spacebar, rotate with a reference at. The second point, we're going to go to the end point of this. And now we're going to rotate it. You notice the settings are set so it drags to the end point of this. That, in fact, was the rotate. Now we want to do the scale. We're going to grab across here, left click, spacebar, 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 scale, reference from at to the end point here. This should be then a length of 1. Escape, 8. List, L-I-S-T, 1.068, 1.618, or 1 plus the square root of 5 over 2. That is 1. Now you can kind of now think about drafting your box bigger than the box, and now think about how that box might work. You've got this one. I'm going to make my box from here at 2, comma 2. Now that box is the size of spacebar. This box is a little bit small, but I'm going to go left click, spacebar, 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 scale, reference, at to the end point here, and I want that to be 4 long. You kind of get that box. That box should be on a layer called View. I can take that box, left click, spacebar. I'm going to move it around to there. Now, if we really want to get good at this, this is the next process. We would like to be our boxes to not be just square. We'd like them to be their ratio of phi. So we're going to X or explode, O for offset, T for through, from there through the midpoint. Circle. From the end point of that through the end point of that, extend, screw that, push that up here, erase this box and this box, erase that, offset T for through the end point there, fill it, hold the shift key here and here. You now have this kind of view box. Mine is V for view, W for window, phi box. First corner from the end point there, from the end point there, to the end point there. You now have that box made to be phi. In effect, later on, if you come into here, I'm going to get rid of this here. This box that you make here, within here, which will be on the view layer, will have the same general layout. So you're going to do it here, viewport there, take a box at, I don't know, 4,4 works for me, X for explode, offset T for through, shift right click the midpoint, circle from the end point there to the end point there, extend, screw that. I'm going to erase this one, erase this, offset. Even though you don't need to do this now, you can now just say M view from the end point there to the end point there, and now all you got to do is say V for view, phi box, set current, OK, and you should have something that generally looks like a correct scale down into here because the boxes were the same. Later on, you can see that you can, as long as these boxes are similar, in other words, they have the same ratios, there's a lot you can do. So remember, learning the concept of the unit circle and the constructions like the phi box is about learning some very, very basic, cool stuff that will keep you attached to what you're supposed to be learning, as opposed to what you think you're supposed to be learning, as opposed to what you really have to be learning. Who knows what you have to be learning? You just have to continue learning. Thanks for listening.